Industry players in the power sector meet for solutions as national grid suffers system collapse. Securities and Exchange Commission seals 3 ventures for engaging in illegal capital market activities, and stocks extend losses as Ukraine war and China's COVID-19 surge affect global sentiment. This is Business Express coming to you on a network service of the NTA. I am Benny Adams, your guide. We begin with the scarcities. The federal government has engaged industry players in the power sector to find solution to the current nationwide epileptic electricity supply caused by poor gas supply and technical challenges in some generating plants. A statement by the Minister of Power, Abubakar Aliyu, says the high-level engagement includes representatives of generation companies, Transmission Company of Nigeria, TCN, Nigerian Bulk Electricity Trading PLC, NIBET, Niger Delta Power Holding Company, as well as NNPC and Shell, among others. Federal government reassures electricity consumers that resolutions reached will ultimately translate to improved power supply. And the scarcity of aviation fuel may soon abate as stakeholders in this sector, following an intervention by the House of Representatives, have agreed to an interim price regime. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports that the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited, Nigerian Mainstream and Downstream Petroleum Regulatory Authority, and airlines operators attended the meeting.
To bring to an end the scarcity.
The unit cost per seat already is about 70,000 naira per seat. About 70,000 naira per seat. You've not talked about the insurance that is very static.
It's not a mono-product thing. It's a general thing across the basket. And it's not even just a local.
The surge in price of premium motor spirit due to scarcity is taking a toll on other facets of the economy, making commuting in Cross River State a challenge. This is occasioned by the hike in transportation fares. Justina Etim reports.
The fuel scarcity sweeping across the country for over a month now has trickled down to Calabar metropolis, bringing with it untold hardship. One of the challenges caused by the fuel scarcity is inability of commuters to access means of transportation on time, as most commercial drivers are trapped in fuel stations, queuing to purchase the product, while transport fares have increased by 100%.
I'm working at Abuja. I was very shocked this morning when they have added almost double price of transport. So it was too much to bear. I didn't have any option than to pay. Since I'm a teacher, I have to go.
I've been here for over 3 hours. I've not seen a vehicle. And the one I saw charged me so high that I cannot afford to pay the price. You wake up in the morning, first thing in your mind is, how do you go and get petrol? You come and queue up hours on the filling station. How will you not be productive for that day?
Commuters lament that short-distance fare, which was 50 naira, has increased to 100 naira, while long-distance fares have also doubled.
It's hitting hard on us. For yesterday, when I was coming, I paid 4,000 from Abuja instead of 2,500 that we used to pay. And now, as I'm going, I don't even know, I've not even seen a vehicle.
Well, Nigeria has no business with fuel queues, considering the amount of oil that we have and the rate of production every day. But I don't know. we prefer to import something that we have so much in the country.
There is nothing one can experience apart from hardship, increment in the price of commodity and every other thing. So even for you to find transport fare in the morning to go to work, it's difficult.
Respondents call on relevant authorities to step up efforts in finding a lasting solution to the fuel crisis. In Calabar, Justina Etam.
Today is World Consumer Rights Day, and the theme for this year is Fair Digital Finance. The global consumer advocacy movement, spearheaded by Consumer International, is calling for fair digital finance for consumers globally. World Consumer Rights Day was inspired by President John Kennedy, former American president, who sent a special message to the U.S. Congress on the 1st of March 1962, in which he formally addressed the issue of consumer rights. Indeed, he was the first world leader to so do that. Since then, it has been a journey that has gained significance with each passing year. As campaigners mobilize action, I have joining me Aliu Ileas. He is a political economist, and together we shall be x-raying the 2022 World Consumer Rights Day. What does it mean for you and me? You're welcome to the program.
Thank you for having me.
Well, talking about consumer rights, consumer protection, consumer satisfaction, do we have that in our marketplace before we come to the theme of this year's event?
Well, the fact just means that we have, but it is just, we need to do more about it, because if you ask me, we have at federal level, so we expect states, local government to also have an agency that will monitor this consumer plight. It's very, very important. Now, if you look at it, I think it's only like 6 states in Nigeria that have consumer protection agency, but federal government is active, but what is the capacity, to take care of Nigeria? So the fact does mean that local government, states need to establish a protection agency for consumers.
Well, let's take a look at this year's theme. It's talking about fair digital finance. We are not entirely new in the digital finance space. I think we are getting somewhere. But looking at the theme of the year, what's your take? Are we getting there? Today I have my line. I have a mobile network I subscribe to. I get messages from them, but I also get messages from fraudsters and people who threaten me. How do they get my data? Where is the place of data protection? Where is fairness in digital financing, transactions, and all of that?
Well, I think we are doing well when we talk about digital finance. Nigeria is in the front line when it talks about digital finance. However, we are suffering the negative impact of it, and this is where I think we have regulatory gap that we need to cover. I don't know if you have received a text message that will say, tell your so person if he has not, he should come and pay our debt. I don't know if you have ever also received a kind of threat that so the fact does mean that there are this digital loan platform that somebody are not even registered. That's a problem. Like I said, there is regulatory gap. Most of them will register as one company, and they will go and establish like 10 digital loan platform, and these people will now in turn be threatening people because there's no regulatory framework to guide them.
No privacy.
A good example is cyberbullying. Once you when you subscribe to their platform, perhaps they borrow you 10,000 naira, and you're meant to pay in a particular period. If you don't pay, or perhaps there is app problem, because I have a particular person who want to pay, but the app is not responding. No, he went directly and paid through a normal bank transfer, and what follows it is that they started bullying him everywhere, calling him, in fact, it's even this third-party agency. These people, once you are getting the loan, they will give you a kind of form that you fill, and you give them your SIM detail, whereby they can really access all the contacts on your platform, on your phones, and they started talking to these people, threatening them, using bad language. So person is wanted. He has borrowed a particular amount. So person is a serial fraudster. In fact, there's a particular one that baffled me. That who is controlling these people that said, if you don't want to lose your family, come and pay our debt. I don't know. For proper banking, you have a lot of channels that you can complain. In fact, there's a backup NDIC. CBN is doing that. So I think there's serious.
Okay, recently recently, as of yesterday, I think the Security and Exchange Commission clamped down on some of this, and there has been some other efforts to ensure that if you are not properly licensed, you should not be operating. But does this stop at that? What do you think? What legal implication do you think should be applied to address some of these excesses?
Very, very urgent action needed. The fact is that you could see that Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Council is running around everywhere where we have NTA, you know, and we have CBN. This is their main core response. Perhaps I think the way the digital platform is going, there may be need to register, to have an organization or an agency that will monitor solely this area, because there's serious. We have over 200 credit loan platform, and the regulatory bodies, we don't have the gap. There is a gap. We don't have the appropriate law to monitor, to guide these people. Perhaps maybe from CSC, NTA, CBN, they don't need to come,
a lot of
together.
This, yeah, I understand.
Really,
I think there is issue of synergy to ensure it happens. Take, for instance, if I happen to be a victim of such, my rights has been trampled upon. Right. Talking about this cyber bullying, where should I take my complaint to for such to be addressed?
Well, the people in charge of it is just basically CBN. And that's why I said CBN have a lot in their hands.
To handle.
Because if you ask me, their major job is what? Monetary policy and stability. Now, they are doing a lot of financial service, so there should be an agency that will take care of that, that will factor this digital platform. It's a very serious, perhaps if there is any bad thing that happens in digital platform, it does not affect only one person. It could affect a lot of, maybe 1 million persons so they need to tame this thing as soon as possible.
Okay, where is the place of Consumer Protection Agency?
All right, thank you. If you look at Consumer Protection Agency, their action is mostly reactive.
Rather than proactive.
So we need to be proactive, to have an agency in place to really tame all these people. Are they well registered? Where did they register? Who take care of when they give people loan? If a conventional, traditional banks give loan to a person, there is a way they get back to CBN and inform CBN. If this person defaults, there is a way they go back to CBN and say this person that we gave a loan has defaulted. There's a way.
I think there's a unit, there's a need to an agency that recently came on board where people collect loans, bad loans are supposed to, the agency or the group is supposed to take care of retrieving some of these resources. Like, okay, for instance, you get to borrow money from one financial institution, you can't borrow from another because there is a central unit to show that you're actually indebted to a particular financial institution. Is that functional?
Well, I don't think so, because you know fintech is an evolving area. So we also need to be evolved in our way of tackle this. It's very key.
Okay, let's look at the positives. By 2024, digital banking consumers are expected to exceed 3.6 billion in Nigeria. Are we doing enough to accommodate this demand?
To be fair on Nigerian traditional banks, they are doing exceedingly well with different platforms. So all we need to do is also create an infrastructure to really guide against electronic fraud. It's a very serious issue. It's not only giving Nigeria a challenge, it's a global challenge. We are doing well. You have a lot of fintech. You have a platform that you can pay. You can do your insurance online. You do not need to go to four-wall bank to carry out transactions. And that's the beauty of it. But if you look at our population, it's another advantage for us. What we need to do is to create enabling infrastructure that will take these people right from CAC, where they will go and register, because some of them will have one company registered and have about loan platform about 10 who take care of these things. So CBI needs to come on board. NTA, I think it's more core job of NTA. NTA need to come up.
Have a central
data need to come up and make sure they are tracking these people every now and then. Because if you look at what happened about last a week or so, where FCCPC executive secretary executive vice chairman rather, has to go about attacking people. We do at this age of technology, we need to be much more proactive than reactive. people that was defrauded, people that are victim have been taken advantage of already. So we should just make sure
delayed flight cancellation, overlap, who should be compensated,
exactly.
and how should you be compensated. The airlines will tell you it's not our problem, is all of this. Okay, let's look at the digital space as it is. What are the opportunities inherent, and are we positioned to take advantage of these opportunities to grow the economy?
Well, to the level we are now, we are well positioned, but we need to do more, because the more people come on board to digital platform, the more there is need for much more responsibility. In the area of financial platform, digital platform where you transact, you receive money, that has helped very well. But we only need to go back and work on regulatory gap. There is serious regulatory gap in that. It's not only Nigeria, I should be fair to Nigerian traditional, it's global. But because we have population, and when it happens to Nigeria, it doesn't have 1, 2, it's like, look at, with this little space, look at how many loan platform has just established. I'm sure you must have been receiving that message that your friend, if I had to call someone, hello, why is it that every morning I will receive a message from a particular, or telling me that you are owing them? Please, can you go and pay your money? Say he has even paid. But the fact is that they said they are not seeing it in their system, and in the place of them to wait, they keep on bombarding them. Most people have even sued some such digital loan credit loan company to different. There's a lot of cases about that. So the thing is, there's serious regulatory gap. If NITDA and CBN are not working in synergy, they should rather have a central agency that will monitor financial services or digital financial services.
As to wrap up, as we celebrate the Consumer Protection Day, we're talking about the consumer rights and all of that. As we take advantage of this digital platforms, how safe are they? What are those safety tips we should look out for as we transact seamlessly on such digital spaces?
Well, the first thing is that you must trace the source of anything you see. Anything you see online, they could be look glitter, but always trace the source, because at this age, people can come up with things and you apply before you know. The other thing is you must read terms and conditions, because if you look at this loan credit platform, what they do is that when you are filling the details, right, you will tell them, you will agree with them that all the contact on your phone, they can access it. So from there, they started bullying, cyberbullying, started getting then we should be careful about scam, fraud. It's always a big problem when it happens. So we should just be careful with that. Then password, we shouldn't joke with our password. That's the way they say you should create your password, where to have alphabet, numbers, and all those things. They are very, very key. So, but the major thing is that please always get to know the source. Perhaps you can even double confirm from CBN, from NITDA. Is this loan company, or is this credit company, or is this platform? Because we are not even talking about payment platforms. We have Remitter, we have GoPay, we have a lot of them. We should find out which one is which and which one is correct. We should just double check. It's very, very key.
Ali Willas, thank you so very much for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point in time. I tell you, it's been very, very informative.
Thank you for having me.
Good to have you too. Moving on, Busted Able is next with Surviving COVID-19.
Surviving COVID-19 series is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of Nigeria.
My name is Augustine Oko. I'm a businessman. I'm into printing, as you can see. I'm into printing, so printing letterheads, any kind of printing at all, complimentary cards, all. Just printing, receipts, all. I'm into it. So I've been doing this job for more than 28 years now. COVID-19 pandemic really hit us, we the businessmen. Most of the time, people do call me. I work from home, precise. So, and the working wasn't coming in a bunk the way I was expecting because of the pandemic. So, it was terrible. I have some clients which I go around to be talking to, then give me job for me to be able to meet up for the year and to feed my family as well. COVID-19, CBN loan and the rest, I saw it on advert, but I have not given it a try. If I get it and I try it and it works for me, first thing that goes on my mind is to how to establish my business. Employ more people. So I employ more people, more youths to help me out.
Surviving COVID-19 series is brought to you in partnership with the Central Bank of.
Still talking about survival of businesses, the World Trade Organization is partnering Sweden to strengthen MSMEs in Nigeria towards placing them on the World Trade Platform. Ambassador to the World Trade Organization, Adamu Abdul Hamid, says the collaboration is to achieve simplified trading access to waivers on tariffs and improved agreement deals for MSMEs on the international market.
Going forward now, at the WTO, we're also now trying to negotiate some kind of preferential trade for MSMEs, whereby if you're an MSME, tariff on some products will be dismantled for your product so that you can easily access this market and export and then grow. And we're also mindful of the fact that MSMEs in Nigeria might not be the same thing as MSMEs in EU.
So there are a lot of trans-border trades that are not even recorded. It's even more than the one that we know. And there's no formal information to even know the extent of all these kind of things. And these are some of the areas that we can also support.
And the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, is working with relevant agencies to protect Nigerians from menace of unregistered businesses harming unsuspecting members of the public. The exercise was carried out in Abuja, Lagos, and Port Harcourt. Bosedable reports.
A good number of Nigerians have fallen prey to practices by unregulated agencies that mostly turn out to be Ponzi schemes. From Abuja to Lagos and Port Harcourt, the Securities and Exchange Commission sealed the premises of Oxford International Group, Oxford Commercial Services, Farmford Agro Allied Solutions Limited, Agro Partnerships, as well as Vector Capital Investment Vector Enterprise for illegally engaging in capital markets activities. Gaining access to the premises was no easy feat. After over 2 hours of resistance by security officials of the company and workers, the Nigerian police was able to pave their way with search warrants and other documents. SEC enforcement officer, who originally declined interview for security reasons, says government is determined to win this war.
The commission made preliminary investigation and found out that the company has Corporate Affairs Commission registration, but is not duly registered with the Securities and Exchange Commission, which is contrary to Section 38 of the Investment and Securities Act, which is also contrary to Section 69 of the Investment and Securities Act.
The Securities and Exchange Commission says the closure is to end illegal activities of the companies against unsuspecting investors. In Abuja, Bosedable.
Investors lost 4.75 billion naira on Monday as all-share index dipped marginally by 0.02% to open the week negative. Equities closed at 47,428.67 basis points, while market capitalization stood at 25.5 trillion naira. 1.2 billion shares valued at 7.9 billion naira exchanged hands in 4,735 deals. Market breadth closed to negative as Ritz Briscoe led 19 gainers as against 22 losers, topped by CWG at the end of that session. The financial services sector topped the activity chart as FCMB, Fidelity Bank, and Zenith Bank led in value and volume. Then global market update is next with Bosedable.
Investors watched the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine as both countries started a fresh round of ceasefire talks on Monday. This has continued to affect global markets. Shares in China lagged among Asia Pacific markets on Tuesday, with the release of much better than expected Chinese economic data offering little respite. Hong Kong's Hang Seng Index fell 6.46%. This came after the benchmark index closed its lowest since March 2016 on Monday. Shanghai Composite dipped 4.95%, while Nikkei rose rose 0.15%. European stocks are expected to open lower on Tuesday as global market sentiment is hit by Russia's ongoing invasion of Ukraine. The UK's FTSE index is seen opening 33 points lower at 7,162. Germany's DAX 70 points lower at 13,723. And France's CAC 40 down 36 points at 6,342. US stock futures struggled for direction early Tuesday morning as investors continue to monitor developments in the Russia-Ukraine conflict and await a key Federal Reserve policy decision. Dow Jones Industrial Average futures were flat. S&P 500 futures and Nasdaq 100 futures also depreciated, while some stocks in Africa like the South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40 and Namibia's overall index are starting the day red. Boss said able Business Express.
That wraps Business Express for today. Remember to keep in touch with us. Do send in your comments, observations, and suggestions. Also be informed that all previous episodes are available on YouTube on the NTA's channel. Business Express returns tomorrow.